Welcome everyone to another episode of Pop Rant Radio, the podcast where two pop culture junkies discuss popular and sometimes not so popular culture. My name is Moss, I'm one of your hosts, and with me as always is my good friend and co-host, Eric. How are you today, sir?
Squad up.
Squad up indeed.
Here we go, squad up.
So we saw Suicide Squad.
Unfortunately not together. I feel like you and I would have had a lot of fun.
I would have had more fun if we had seen it together.
Yeah.
So this movie was terrible.
Yes, it is garbage.
This movie is so bad, awful, and we're going to get into why that is. But I would like to take an opportunity to do something a little different today.
I'm not okay with this.
That's okay. I know you don't know about this yet.
I'm going to fight it.
I would like to talk about another movie that's also not good, but I want to talk about this movie because I want to illustrate how far superior even a very bad movie is to what we received in Suicide Squad.
I hope it's Age of Ultron.
And it's not. This is a problem that's indicative of pretty much all the DC movies in the last several years.
Okay.
And we talked about this a few weeks ago, the problem with the DC universe and
it didn't help.
It being anchored to Man of Steel and the problems with that movie and Batman v Superman and so on. But I just want to, again, take this opportunity to illustrate even a bad movie can be competently made and at the very least, tell a story. Even if it's not a great story, even if the acting's not great or the dialogue's not great, Suicide Squad fails to have a screenplay, essentially. Like it doesn't go anywhere. It's just, these are events and they are vaguely tied together with some semblance, with some shamble of a pretense.
And it's funny that it's just like Batman v Superman, where it takes 30 minutes for it to, quote unquote, get started with whatever it's trying to do.
And yeah, it takes 30 minutes to get started on a journey to nowhere.
Right. Yeah, Batman v Superman, it doesn't have a plot either, but neither does this.
Batman v Superman is worse than Suicide Squad, I think. I think Suicide Squad...
not by much, though.
No. It's decimal points.
Yeah.
But we'll get into it. But the movie I want to talk about for a few minutes is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie.
No! I did think about that.
From 1995.
That movie does, because, Katana is, was very Power Rangers as this whole movie.
That's not even what I mean. So, for those of you unfamiliar with, I'm sure anyone listening to this knows what Power Rangers is.
I'm surprised you don't want to talk about that when we talk about Apocalypse.
But let me just walk you through the Power Rangers movie for a few minutes.
You gotta start putting the year on it, though. After, next year.
That's true, for the reboot or whatever.
Right, where it's Iron Man Rangers.
Okay, so the Power Rangers. 5 teenagers with attitude.
Yep.
Who use their essentially magical powers to become the Power Rangers, and they fight against evil. It's ridiculous. It was a dumb TV show.
They have magical powers?
I loved as a kid. Yeah, the rings,
Are you
the Zord, the fucking whatever.
Do you know the lore
the things
of Power
that they
Rangers?
hold? Zordon gave them to them. All right, so the Power Rangers movie, right? At the beginning of the movie, the 5 Power Rangers and then Bulk and Skull, the stupid bullies, they go skydiving.
Right.
Okay.
It's amazing.
So what this at a minimum, and again, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie is not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. But what the scene at least sets up, hey, these characters are friends. They like to spend time with each other. There's dialogue between them. They're like, oh, you did a good job or whatever. Again, bland as fuck. But at least it establishes, hey, these characters are friends.
Right.
Cool. Then Bulk and Skull, since they skydive, and they're skydiving and they're trying to land on this target, and it's like a charity event type of thing. So again, we get the sense that, all right, these kids are doing this for charity. Got it. So it's minimal. It's super minimal. But we get some characterization. Because the Power Rangers don't have any personality.
Right.
The 5 main Rangers...
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're all bland.
Did you miss the whole, Saved by the Bell, character moments?
Right. Again, they have no personalities. That's fine. Whatever. Let's table that for a minute. We'll get back to that. Bulk and Skull, the bullies, they don't land in the target zone. They land in this construction site.
Right.
Where this crew uncovers this giant egg.
Yeah.
And the egg contains...
And Sabanur.
Ivan Ooze.
Same thing, I guess.
Ivan Ooze is this evil warlord that was trapped inside this container a long time ago. So the bad guys from the Power Ranger universe, Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed,
right? They
decide, hey, we're going to set Ivan Ooze free because he'll help us destroy the Power Rangers. Got it. They're clearly bad. They live up on their fortress in the moon. They talk and they cackle and they talk about how they want to destroy the Rangers. Again, stupid, lame, cheesy, dumb. But there's some characterization here. There's some, like, clearly they don't like the Power Rangers. I got it, movie. They let Ivan Ooze go. Ivan Ooze goes to Zordon, the palace. Like, they go to Zordon in the palace where the Rangers, it's the source of their power. And we get a little bit of dialogue earlier in the movie about how, Ivan Ooze and Zordon used to be enemies, great enemies, whatever. Okay, so we have, again, lame, dumb, stupid, little bit of backstory. So when Ivan Ooze shows up and destroys the fortress with Zordon in it, and Zordon's life force starts to fade away, we as the audience understand, cool, there's conflict between these two characters. Then the Rangers show up after Zordon is dying. I know. The Rangers show up and they're like, oh no, Zordon's dying. What are we going to do? Alpha, the little robot, explains to them, if you want to save Zordon, you have to go to this other planet to get this magical force, because the Rangers don't have their powers anymore. They can't be the Power Rangers anymore. Because the fortress was destroyed and Zordon is dying.
So you'll become ninjas.
Again, lame, stupid, dumb. But we as the audience understand the stakes. We understand Zordon's going to die and the Power Rangers can't be the Power Rangers anymore unless they go get this magical new stuff. So they go to the other planet and they meet another character named Dulcia. And Dulcia explains...
Did you look this up?
No, I just remember this. Dulcia explains, in order to get the power, you have to go to the temple. And the temple contains the power of Ninjetti. So you're going to go get the power of Ninjetti. That'll let you return home.
Right.
And it will let you heal Zordon and defeat Ivan Ooze. Cool. So our characters have to go on a journey to accomplish an objective. So in the very beginning of the movie, we get, again, minimal, dumb, lame, but some characterization. So we understand, even at the basis of levels, these are who our main characters are. We understand who Zordon is. We understand that Ivan Ooze is the bad guy. Ivan Ooze defeats Zordon, destroys the fortress. Conflict. Got it. The Rangers have to defeat Ivan Ooze. They have to save Zordon. How do they do that? They're going to go on a journey to this planet. They're going to get the mystical power of Ninjetti. They're going to save the day. Cool. We have a plot. We have a semblance of a story going on here. So they, hold on. I'm sorry, didn't mean to, but I'm into this. I'm really into the Power Rangers movie summary right now, apparently.
So terrible.
So they go to the temple where they have to defeat these guardians, these four guardians, the stone statue things, in order to get the power. Again, conflict. There's a goal, there's an obstacle, we have to overcome the obstacle. They do it. They get the power, they go back to Earth. They get in their new Zords and they combine and form the giant robot, which, again, stretch, dumb, lame, the robots all coming together to form the Megazord is a metaphor for how they have to work together as a team to defeat the bad guy. Again, stupid, lame, but it's there. It exists. There is a theme to this movie. They defeat Ivan Ooze. Zordon is restored to his health or whatever. They get their powers back. The Power Rangers succeed. End of movie. Stupid, dumb, lame-ass movie. 1,000% better than Suicide Squad.
So you're saying Suicide Squad wasn't well written?
Hopefully that gets across to you, listener, that Suicide Squad doesn't even have the semblance of a plot, the semblance of a story. Again, the Power Rangers have no personality whatsoever. The characterization, not there. They're teenagers with attitude, and they turn into superheroes and they fight crime. Got it. Our characters in Suicide Squad...
Characters with quotes around it.
Right. They're bad guys. Cool.
They're
in jail. Got it. They're bad guys. And the movie takes great pains over the first 20 minutes to explain to us who these people are, and to tell us.
I forgot to put explain with quotes.
Not to show us anything, but to tell us who these people are. So then, at the beginning of the movie, none of them have any reason to cooperate with each other,
no,
or like each other, or even work remotely together. And then that never changes until the third act, when we just decide now we have to band together.
Right.
For
After they,
reasons.
quote unquote, fail.
Yeah, now we're all friends. Like, now we care about each other. Like,
right, which is BS.
no. If you want to evoke that feeling, if you want to evoke the idea of teamwork and of camaraderie and these people coming together, you have to write that in your fucking movie. You have to put that in the fucking script.
What are you talking about? We should know these characters.
Terrible. This movie's awful. Go ahead.
You want me to take the plot for this one?
Take it.
I hate this movie.
God, this movie was terrible.
It really was. So, like you mentioned, it opens up with Amanda Waller, who I was really excited when they announced that Viola Davis was going to play Amanda Waller.
Yes.
Barely in it, and not super great.
She's the best part.
Right.
Simply because, so Viola Davis, Will Smith, and Margot Robbie at least have the gravitas to evoke something.
You like them because
they're those actors.
Right, and they try to act a little bit here and
there.
there.
The script gives them nothing to work with.
Right.
The dialogue is all dog shit.
It really is.
It's terrible, but those three actors are talented enough to at least make them likable, specifically for their personality as a person. Not necessarily what they're doing as far as acting. You at least like them as people.
Then, so the movie kicks off with her kind of defending this whole Task Force X BS.
Yeah, because she's like a government agent who's forming this black ops team.
And they're like, there's this big thing about them being scared of Superman turning and attacking us.
Yeah, metahumans.
Right, and which is a term that's been used constantly in the CW shows, but is now just randomly showing up in the films.
Well, right, because they can't use mutants.
Right.
They have to come up with
superhumans.
Right.
So she's defending this Task Force idea as we get this really horribly slapped together intro for all the characters, where it literally is just, here's Deadshot, and then it splashes an image of Deadshot.
Yeah, it essentially shows you their baseball card with their stats on it.
They flip over their trading card, and you get to read their stats. And then we get little scenes with them, and Harley, El Diablo, whatever, and it keeps going, and they get shorter and shorter descriptions as we go on.
Right, and I was watching. There's a YouTube show that I watch called What the Flick, and it features 4 critics, and one of my probably my favorite on there. His name is Ben Mankiewicz, and he made the point that if you're going to put the stat cards up on the screen, at least have them on the screen long enough for it to be readable. It's a terrible idea, but if you're going to jump down that rabbit hole, at least make it legible.
Yeah, because they show up and then it's gone.
Nope, immediately.
And they don't show anything in their little clips that would make you feel like, well, we don't need the stat card because I'm seeing the stat card explained. Nope, that's gone. In the background, we get Now That's What I Called Music 12 playing, because it's here's a number 1 hit. 5 minutes later, here's another number 1 hit.
Literally, I would give them max 25 seconds.
There is 30 songs used in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yes, it's just one right after another.
It's like White Stripes, Nirvana, Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath. It keeps hitting you with all these big popular songs.
It does, and all of them are right on the nose. It's like you took. It's like you asked your 10-year-old nephew, hey, what song would you put here? And that's the entire soundtrack.
Right, there's the You Don't Own Me song is behind Harley Quinn because her and the Joker's relationship is like that. When they introduce El Diablo, they have what is the
Sympathy for the Devil.
Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah.
And it's playing with the El Diablo stuff, and it's we get it. We get who these characters are.
Right on the nose. Well, but we don't. I think
but that's what they're trying. We get that this is why you're using. We as comic book fans who know these characters are going, okay, we know why you're using this song. We know why you're using this song.
I would say that the song choice, and this is so terrible, the song choice for each of the characters is the most characterization we get for 80% of the characters in this movie.
Because El Diablo, he's the Rolling Stones guy. And
this song mentions the devil because he has
his
fire.
His name is the devil.
Yeah. Get it?
Great.
I hope you like that, because that's all you're going to get for an hour and a half.
So, they get the whole team idea set up, and she goes and she's explaining the last member who is very clearly going to be the villain right off the bat, which is the Enchantress.
She's this witch lady.
She's an archaeologist who finds this ancient burial site and breaks off a statue's head for who knows why. It doesn't explain why she does it, but then she's possessed by a witch.
Or really, it doesn't explain anything at any point in this movie.
It's so shit. The whole witch side plot is so dumb, and it's again the Martha thing. It is the central pivotal moment of the movie is this whole witch, these witches. And it's just, there's no explanation for who they are, what they were.
Right.
Nothing.
Because
it's just,
you'll find out that, she had a brother, sorcerer, warlock
there was
dude.
a second statue which wasn't in the scene,
which is not established, but then he just like shows up in the movie after she brings him back to life.
The main villain.
And he's there for reasons. What are their goals? What are their aspirations? What are their motivations? Who the fuck cares? Because it's not in this movie.
Right. And just, so, like, Amanda Waller's like, here, this is the Enchantress. And the government's like, bah, we don't like her. And she's like, oh, really? And, like, the Enchantress just puts, like, this binder on the table. The guy's like, these are the papers we've been looking for 4.5 years. I approve. Task Force X is,
right, let me just,
is immediately great.
Where's the dotted line?
Right, he's just like, I'm done. Good job. He's stupid. So, immediately, we find out that Julian Moon, I think is the character name, who's the human version of the Enchantress.
Yeah, archaeologist lady.
She can't control the Enchantress. She hates becoming the Enchantress, but like she's like the secret weapon or whatever. Immediately, shit goes wrong. The Enchantress goes and steals...
Oh, but you forgot, Eric.
I didn't forget anything.
Remember, Amanda Waller controls the Enchantress because they have her heart in the suitcase.
They have this little, like, tree shrub.
Right, so whenever she disobeys, she can just stab the heart and it'll get her in line. Except when it didn't do that because reasons.
God. So she goes... She goes to, like...
explicitly establish, like, I have control of her heart. I can make her do whatever.
And there's one part where she's, like, violently stabbing it and nothing's happening.
And then in one scene, like, we see that established. And the next scene when she does the same thing, it's like, no, now it just doesn't work because...
she's resisting it.
Just because, like, the reasons, no, we don't have any of those in this movie. Keep that shit away.
Alright, so... God, this movie's gonna be a lot of sighs. So Enchantress goes to get her heart, but instead doesn't get her heart, and grabs a pipe that has her brother in it, which no establishment for that either. Then she goes and beats up a black dude in the subway bathroom and makes her brother possess him, and then he has like a weird convulsion on the floor, and then he stabs 2 people, and then like this giant blob falls into the... like, this is all stupid.
Right. Oh, but he's absorbing their power or something.
Right.
Like,
because they're becoming like one person.
Right. Literally, the line is, he's absorbing their power. That's it. Like, it's one line verbatim like that. And it's like, well, we're done. We've explained him.
Well, the thing I don't get is... well, I'll get back to this, because there's an after credit scene that ruins the entire freaking movie.
I did not stay for that shit. As soon as the credits started playing, I was like,
no, there's a mid-credit scene. I'll explain it towards the end.
I believe you. I left for that shit.
I'll explain towards the end because it ruins the whole movie. Which is really hard
to do. It ruins the movie.
It's really hard to do, right?
Don't spoil it for me, man.
So now we have a brother, and the brother, and like, so they send Rick Flag, who's screwing the Enchantress because Viola Davis told him to.
Right. She concocted a scenario where Rick Flag would fall in love with the crazy witch lady
so that
when she's
Viola
not...
Davis can have control of both of them.
Fucking like, and it's literally explained as quickly as we just said it. Like, it's
like,
just,
I set her up to date him, so they fell in love. It worked really well. Now I control both.
Moving
on.
It.
Like, that's all we get.
Literally it.
And like, we don't know how long they've been dating. We don't know if they're super serious.
We don't even get. You could have one scene where we got a little bit of emotion out of these 2 characters. Like, just use a fucking close-up shot. Like, use editing, use camera angles to convey, all right, they're looking into each other's eyes. Give us something. Absolutely zero chemistry between these characters in this movie.
Well, and Cara Delevingne, her name is, she's terrible in this whole movie.
But everybody is.
Right, but I would argue that she is like the center point of shit when it comes to like the Suicide Squad acting. Because when there's like a moment where she becomes the Enchantress, when she goes and steals the pipe with her brother in it, and like when she turns back into Archaeologist Lady, she goes up to Rick Flag and she's like, if I ever become the Enchantress, decide to kill me, even if it kills the real me.
It is,
and it's like,
I mean, all the dialogue is like
it's kind of hard to tell if it's her delivery or if it's the written or if it's a combination.
I think it might be a combination, but it's definitely like the dialogue throughout the entire movie is all
it's very rough.
The little girl who plays Will Smith's daughter,
right? Daddy, don't.
It is Jake.
Daddy, put it down.
It just reeks of Jake Lloyd. It's so bad.
Right. Well, yeah.
And like, again, it's not necessarily her fault. She's like 11 or whatever, but like, do a second take, guys.
Yes.
Like, just something.
Or just get Tara Strong to voice over her. She'll do it. So, well, let's do a side note on that real quick, because I have a huge problem with that scene, too. Like, Amanda, they're like, how'd you get Deadshot, Amanda? And she's like, I tipped off a certain friend. He's the world's greatest detective. Are you honestly telling me that it took Amanda Waller to tell Batman that this C-list piece of shit villain, Deadshot, is, whatever his name is, Floyd Lawton? Like, no. Absolutely incorrect. Like, it's stupid. Side note, it's like a tiny little thing in this giant bullshit bag.
Oh yeah, that's way low on the list of priorities.
And I was like rubbing my face at that moment. I was like, stop right now. So Rick Flag and Cara Delevingne are like going. I don't even know what's her last name. This is gonna be really.
It does not matter. The Enchantress.
Rick Flag and the Enchantress are like looking for this anomaly in the sewers, and plot device is set up in that scene, but we don't see it. We don't hear about it until about 50 to 60 minutes later. Enchantress, surprise, runs away, and then Rick Flag's like, "Hey, the Enchantress got away."
Right,
so
because the heart doesn't work anymore.
Right,
for
so
reasons.
Viola Davis is like, "Okay, I'll get her back." Then she turns and starts comically pounding a pencil into the heart. Then it cuts back to the Enchantress, who's like slightly on the floor in pain, like, "Brother, get my heart." And so then he does.
And then he just magics her a heart, and it's like, I'm done.
He goes and gets it. And it's like, what?
This movie's they don't even establish like what the brothers' powers are, or what the Enchantress' power. It's all vague, and that's the one thing that I wanna get across more than anything about this movie is like I have a lot to say about this movie, but I really don't, because this movie is so bland and mediocre and lifeless and generic that there's not one thing that stands out where it's like, well, clearly this is the problem. Like, it's just all this
it's writing. Writing is the problem.
Just this gray brown sludge. Like, every fight scene takes place in the dark or in the rain, choppy. Or in the rain in the dark, and it's choppy, and the designs on the monsters
is like they kind of look human, but they kind of
they're
don't.
like some trauma-esque, like just
they're essentially people with like a mushroom face,
right? But they're just so B-movie and uninteresting. Like, there's no interesting design in any. Like, the brother has a boring design, the Enchantress has a boring design.
They look Aztec.
The creatures have a boring design, and there's that moment in the movie where like they kill a bunch of them, and then one of the characters, I don't even remember who, is like, "Oh, so those used to be people." Yep. Cool. Like, that's a setup for like a moral dilemma of like,
oh my God,
these are people.
Should we just stop and
just tossed away, like immediately forgotten. Just
like it's like this, like the zombie thing. They always do this idea of, should we kill the zombies or should we try to find a cure and try to save the people?
Just zero characterization, zero interest in anything that's happening in this entire movie. It's so bad.
So we get brother is now a big part. And Enchantress, and they both, like, she turns back into her original form, which still looks like the archaeologist.
I don't know.
Why? Whatever. And she's like, I'm going to build a machine and destroy all of humanity because humanity worships machines. That's not set up.
It's so vague. I forgot about that.
Humanity worships machines. Like, there's no setup of like people in their phones or like people glued to computer screens or nothing. It's just like humanity is ruled by machines, so we'll use a machine to kill them.
Just zero setup.
Great.
And then the machine is a giant blue laser beam that has trash orbit around it.
Which even Will Smith makes a joke about.
Right,
it's like,
but
that's not funny, but that's what it is.
They don't even bother to say like, this beam will destroy the Earth in an hour, or this beam will destroy all machines.
It just starts to do
It's just a fucking generic blue light in the sky. Like, it's nothing.
It's a fucking death ray.
It is nothing. Nothing is established in this stupid movie.
So, almost comedically set up, like, now this guy that was like, I'm against the task force, now I'm not. Now he's like, get the task force, Amanda Waller! So she does, and immediately we're set up with like these characters, and like we don't know who they are. They aren't even interacting with each other. Like, they're just kind of saying like a thing here and there to each other, and like then they're like, here's another character, Katana. Who cares who she is? Now she's on the helicopter with us.
So all right, Will Smith as Deadshot gets some characterization.
Some.
Harley Quinn,
But it's wrong.
Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn gets some characterization. It is incorrect in comparison to the comics, but
no, even just in the solid movie itself, it's incorrect. And I'll explain why.
It's weird in the very first scene that we're introduced him in, when he's like, he sets up the thing where he shoots the bullet. And spoiler alert for all this, by the way, don't see this movie. Please do yourself a favor. Do not see this movie. So in that scene where like he shoots the bullet and like ricochets it, and he's like talking on the phone like, you better pay me. He's set up as like this kind of smart, intelligent, like businessman, like it's just a transaction type of thing. And then the rest of the movie, he's like, yo man, that's whack. Like he has like this link.
Yes.
And it's like, where did this come from? Like this was not established at all.
It's like, yo bitch.
Yeah,
this shit's crazy.
He uses the word bitch like 3 or 4 times in this movie. Right. It was just super
like,
out of
crazy
place.
Bitch. Plus he's like super sexist where he's like, go slap her ass and tell her it's, everything's okay.
Right. Like,
what the hell, dude?
Where did that come from?
Why did Will Smith agree to this? He's a family man. He's saying lines like, you gotta go get your bitch in line, Rick Flag.
But it's not even that. It's just like the character that's established at the beginning when they're doing their introduction of the characters is not a guy who would say like, smack your bitch's ass. Like, those aren't the same people at all.
Right, he's like a family man who's like, he has to make money, so he does it this way.
Which reminds me, I know you kill people, Daddy. It's okay that you kill people. Fucking garbage.
Was Meryl Streep in the room? That was amazing.
That little girl. Oh, I feel so bad for her.
She needs to never do a film again.
So terrible.
And I know it's mean that we're picking on like a 7-year-old, but I don't give a shit.
She was like 12. I mean, still, but yeah.
So, Suicide Squad goes into the city.
Which is completely abandoned, by the way.
Right, of course. And I'm surprised they didn't say it 7 times. So they get in the city. Immediately, like, we're introduced to this character, Slipknot, before they go in. And there's like, Slipknot, he can climb anything. That's super stupid. Like, no one gives a shit. It's called a fucking ladder, man. We get no characterization for him above, like, the 0 characterization we got for anybody else. And so immediately, he dies. No one gives a shit.
He's in the movie for 40 seconds.
He comes out, he punches a woman in the face, and then he dies. That's his entire character.
He's like, because Captain Boomerang, played by Jai Courtney, is like, hey, I bet so we forgot about this. The Suicide Squad, they have bombs that are injected into their neck. So if they disobey, they'll be killed.
Right.
If
they try to run, or if they try to kill Rick Flag, or if Rick Flag dies, or like if something goes wrong, their head blows up.
And then so Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang is talking to Slipknot and is like, hey, I bet the bombs are bullshit. We should try to run away. And Slipknot's like, yeah, we should try to run away. And then like he grappling hooks and like tries to run away. And then they're just like, beep, and he dies. But it's not even, it's like, it's filmed and edited poorly.
Yeah.
Like you could have made him dying like really impactful. But the shot where his head explodes, the camera angle is so far away. And then like he like falls down and he's still grappling hook. Like there's no payoff. And the character's been in the movie for 40 seconds. Like we don't give a fuck that this guy died.
Well, and like, so to compare it to the Suicide Squad animated film that just came out like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Which is also not amazing, but it's leaps and bounds over this.
It's so much better. So there's a scene where Amanda Waller's telling them about the bombs in their neck, and one of the characters by the name of Spider is like, no, F this. I don't know if it's Spider.
I think it's KG Beast, but it does not matter.
One of them's like, this is all bullshit. You're probably stringing us along. I'm out of here. And he turns to walk away, and his head blows up, and they're all like, oh shit, this is real.
Right.
That's a lot more impactful than like, everyone's like, haha, he's dead.
The characters in this movie don't even react to Slipknot dying.
Like,
nothing.
Harley Quinn laughs.
Right.
That's it.
And that's fine. You could have her laugh, but give me a reaction shot out of somebody. Like, give this some weight. Like, this is fucking filmmaking 101.
Yes.
Like, just make
the character.
Make things impactful. There has to be stakes. There has to be something at risk. There has to be conflict.
We need to care about like that he dies.
Movie has none of this.
No.
It's basic storytelling. Like, you have your introduction, you have your rising action, which is your conflict, you have your climax. Like, this is shit they teach you in like 3rd grade, man, and it's absent.
There's none of it.
It's fucking absent from this movie.
Slipknot's gone. They go down a street, and all of a sudden they're like, there's hostiles. Great. What are the hostiles? Is it Enchantress? No, we don't have any explanation for this. I know we just talked about this a little bit ago, but this is the first time we see them in the film.
Yeah.
There's no explanation for what this is, who they are,
where they came from. Nope, nothing.
Nope, we just fight them, we shoot them. Great.
They're like the zombie, like you said, mushroom head guys. They
kind of remind me of like clickers from The Last of Us.
Yeah. They look like somebody just took a bunch of like
Googly eyes?
Yeah, like googly eyes or like Jello with like little pieces of fruit in it, and just put it on their head. Like they look so generic and
They look
just
like crap.
completely uninteresting. Like
Right.
nothing.
They're essentially zombies. Like that's all they are.
That's all they are. Just zombies.
So they fight a little bit, then they get to a building, then they fight a little bit, then they get upstairs in the building, then they fight a little bit. Then
Well, like they get to the building because they're told like we have to go extract the high value target,
right?
And we get to the building and like the big twist is, oh, it was Amanda Waller. She was like in the building.
Who cares? Why is she even in the city?
Why is she there in the first place?
Well, then she's like,
but it's played off like it's this big reveal, and it's like who cares?
Right?
Like you haven't established anything.
Well, and then like then they go to get on a helicopter to leave because like. Mission's failed. Let's get it the hell out of here. They go to get in a helicopter, and we are going to talk about this later on as like a main topic. But the Joker has taken the helicopter. He starts shooting everyone, and everyone's hiding. Harley Quinn runs and jumps and gets on the rope.
Right, because the Joker can just somehow disarm the bomb in her head for reasons.
Which is explained 0% in a previous scene, which has no purpose, and I had no clue what it was until after I finished the movie. I went, oh, that's what that scene was about, I guess. You can't do that. That's not a good way to write your movie. So Harley Quinn gets back up with the Joker, and here's another part into the Deadshot's character makes no effing sense throughout this whole movie. Viola Davis is like, hey, shoot her now. You're free. You get your daughter. Shoot her now. And Deadshot's like, nope, can't do it. We're friends.
But why? What? There's been no
Since when were you
nothing
friends?
in the movie that's led you to believe, oh, these characters are clearly working together now. Like there's that one part where like Harley Quinn gets a text message from the Joker with the phone that she somehow got out. Like
the guy,
I know the guard gives it to her, but like nobody fucking checked her. Like bullshit. Anyway, so like she gets a text message from the Joker, and then Deadshot sees it, and he's like, I won't tell anybody. Which means we're best friends now, and I won't shoot you when I'm offered my freedom, even though all of the very little characterization in this movie has established that the one thing I will do is kill people to get money or to get out and go see my daughter. So the one time in the movie where I'm offered directly that, I just won't do it because we're best friends for reasons.
Right, whatever.
That the movie has failed to establish.
So the helicopter goes down. Harley Quinn somehow survives by jumping off the helicopter into a building.
Right. Oh, whatever. That was another thing. So she falls out of the
Joker throws her out so she can survive.
Yeah, and she falls, but then she does like this like tuck and roll thing. But it's very Matrixy. And the movie up until this point, even though it's really stupid, it hasn't been like over the top with like crazy physics or anything.
It's been somewhat grounded.
But she falls like 50 feet out of this helicopter and like rolls onto the roof and like just
it's Legend of Zelda,
and then starts taking off running with heels on, and you're like, where did this come from? Like it's zany. It's like something out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
And like that universe, that tone, that atmosphere is nowhere to be found.
No, this has been a very grounded series.
Right, and it's in that one shot and then it's gone again.
Yeah.
Like it's just out of nowhere.
Right.
It's like if you were watching like The Departed and then like somebody
Leonardo DiCaprio jumps from a building.
Yeah, and then it goes like into bullet time or something, and then like once, and you're like, what the fuck was that?
So Joker goes down, his helicopter crashes and blows up, and nothing else happens with him for the rest of the movie until a very small thing at the end, which is horrible.
Well, and let's get side note: the Joker totally irrelevant in this movie.
Yes, he's in it for I think 8 minutes total.
Right, but even ignoring the fact that he has a low screen time presence, he just doesn't contribute anything to the plot.
He is in this movie 100% for people to go, hey, let's go check out the new Joker.
Right.
Like, that's all. He's a marketing ploy.
Right. That's it. Because if you removed him entirely from the film, the plot, quote unquote, is completely unaltered.
Right.
Like, he makes no contribution to the events in the movie.
If he was like, because there is apparently, which we'll talk about this later, there's apparently an alternate ending where he is all of a sudden towards the end like a villain for the film. Whatever, who gives a shit? So Harley somehow gets all the way down to the building, catches back up with the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it was just bad editing.
And we get this really weird scene where it hints that she fakes her craziness. Like, where she's like sitting there like moping and everyone's like walks up and she's like, and like straightens out her shirt and is like, "Hi guys."
I think the idea behind that was like she was sad because she thinks the Joker's dead, but she had to like put on like a smiling face for everybody.
Explain it.
Like that I will give the movie that. Like that I get. Like that's one moment where like, okay, she thinks the Joker just died. Of course he didn't die. But she thinks the Joker just died, and then when she sees everybody walking up, she has to like put on a smiling face. I will give that the movie that is one iota of characterization. I'll give him that. Like that's something that they didn't have to explicitly spell out, but they also didn't have to just not include. Like that, I will give them that, and that is one grain of sand on the endless beach of shit that is this movie.
Viola Davis's helicopter then goes down.
Oh, let's talk about this too. How many fucking helicopter crashes are in this movie?
There's I think at least 5.
There's too many.
Yes.
And when Viola Davis's helicopter goes down, the camera is completely outside the helicopter, and then it crashes, and then the camera goes into the helicopter, and like it's like, well, here's a whole bunch of CG shots, and then here's a set. Like there's no connective shots where like you see her in the helicopter tumbling, or it's just like, oh, well, this is clearly just a fucking movie because the way you edited it.
Well, and like she's the only one that survives it. Like everyone else is dead.
Just for reasons.
Her. Yep. Great.
This movie's terrible.
Whatever. So her helicopter goes down, Enchantress kidnaps her, whatever. Then the Suicide Squad all of a sudden is like, well, now we're not scared of the bombs in our neck, so we're going to break the rules and we're going to go drink. Great. We get incredibly small amount of characterization. I would say 0.
But yeah, and it's super forced, and it's very like, Will Smith is basically just...
We tried our best.
Right, we tried our best, and we're the Suicide Squad. Like, there's
and
nothing.
Killer Croc says, I'm beautiful.
Killer Croc does nothing in this movie. He does nothing. Killer Croc does nothing.
Katana does nothing.
Katana does nothing. Captain Boomerang does nothing.
Right.
El Diablo does nothing for 2/3 of the movie.
He does one big thing in the end, which doesn't make any sense, which we'll talk about that in a second.
And like, so the Suicide Squad is, I don't know, like 8 people or whatever, and like 4 of them do something. Maybe.
Yeah. There's also a really weird discrepancy with this scene where Rick Flag comes in, he's like, you guys can all go, mission's over. And like, Jai Courtney's Captain Boomerang like leaves.
Right.
And then the next scene, they're like walking down the street and he's right there.
He comes back. Like he comes
They
back
never
up.
show him coming back.
No, they do. They show him like he like steps into the frame with like a beer in his hand. That's it.
Bullshit. He left and like it was like a 10-minute difference.
I know.
And then he's back and like, no.
For reasons.
That's horrible editing. So they're going to go and Rick Flag's like, hey, remember that scene that happened earlier? Well, I had set up a bomb. And there's a bomb underneath the very building that the Enchantress is at, apparently.
Conveniently. And
if we go there and blow up the bomb, it'll flood the station or whatever, and who gives a shit? The movie will end. And so they're all like, sweet. And Killer Croc's like, I could swim. And it's like, okay, great, Killer Croc, you can contribute now. They go to confront the Enchantress, who is doing the fucking cha-cha the whole time that she's quote-unquote acting. Like, she's just like, welcome, Suicide Squad, while she's like dancing, and it's super distracting.
It's so bad.
And then, okay, so here comes this is my final thing with Deadshot and how his character, like, I agree that they could do a different interpretation, that's fine, but this character makes no damn sense in this movie, and it's garbage. So, the beginning of the movie, we have Deadshot's, like, getting money, he wants to take care of his daughter, he loves his daughter, he wants custody. Then he screws up with the Harley Quinn thing. That's incredibly out of character. And then there's the scene where Enchantress is like, let me show you what you want. And all of a sudden, all Deadshot wants is to kill the Batman?
Right.
Like, no, that is nowhere established at all through the movie. His desire should be to be with his daughter.
Right.
That's what you set up.
It's like, because it would have... Yeah, it's poorly done because the scene where he gets captured by Batman earlier in the movie and taken to jail, like his daughter's there, so then like in his fantasy he like kills Batman, but then his daughter's like not there. Like it's just like you said, poorly edited, and it's so vague and loosely tied in. Like at least the thing with Harley where she like imagines her and the Joker like having a family.
And they have like a family and they live in a house.
All right, that I get. Like again, a minuscule amount of characterization. Okay, that's I understand that.
Right.
Like that gives me some insight into, okay, she's clearly like crazy and in love with this guy and she wants this even though she clearly can't have it. Like that's something that the movie gives you.
Right. So let's talk about El Diablo for a second, because this is his shining moment, even though he's a piece of shit character. So El Diablo has the ability of fire. He ran with a group that's clearly inspired by like the Latin Kings. There's like a flashback scene where he's in full like El Diablo tattoos in like a suburban house, and it looks fucking ridiculous.
It does.
And his wife's like, "I love you, Poppy," and he's like, "Whatever," and like it's horrible. And like, so she's like, "I found this money. You're a criminal," and he's like, "I guess I am." And like, she goes upstairs. She's like, "I'm taking the kids to my mom." And he's like, "No, you won't." Then he murders everyone. Like, that's not good. Like, he's set up to be like this Bruce Banner-esque character who like can't control his powers, and when he gets super angry, he lashes out and hurts people, but it's done so terribly. And then like throughout the whole movie, he's like, "I'm a peacekeeper, man. I'm a peacekeeper." No! And now he's like, so Enchantress shows him this vision where he's like with his family again. He's like, "No, I have to accept what I did." And he's like, "Okay." Then he becomes like an Aztec warrior.
Right, he changes into like what it reminded me of, and I didn't see this movie, but it reminded me of Gods of Egypt.
Yes!
Like just
it was 100% that. He went into full like Anubis armor, and he's like, "I'm gonna fight the brother now." And they're like, "No, El Diablo, take him into the corner. That's where the bomb is, you idiot." And he's like, "Okay, I'll do it."
Exactly like that too. That's the problem.
It's so bad.
There's no subtlety at all.
So they take him into the corner. Killer Croc sets off the bomb. And then, like, now they're going to fight the Enchantress, who turns back into regular Enchantress and is, like, jumping around and, like, fighting them. And then Harley Quinn's like, "No, you know what? I agree. I hate this world. What did it ever do for us? That could be a great character moment for the entire group, but it's shit on." And so she goes up to the Enchantress, hits her with a knife or something, and, like, pulls the heart out. And then we get the amazing line from Rick Flag where he turns to Deadshot, like, 90-degree turns to him and goes, "Her heart is out. Now we can get her, Deadshot."
Yes.
Like, great. Thank you, video game instructions. So then they, like, kill her or whatever. I don't care about this part at all. It all ends. Diablo sacrificed himself. He's dead. Killer Croc shows back up and, like, throws her on the ground. And then she becomes a chocolate mannequin on the floor. And they're like, "Well, I guess the Enchantress is dead. Who gives a shit about El Diablo? He's dead too," but no, we're past that. And then the Enchantress peels off her face, and it's the archaeologist beneath it, and she's like, "I thought I killed you, Rick Flag." He's like, "I thought I killed you, Enchantress." And then they kiss. And this movie's just such shit. Like, this movie's so terrible. So we cut, like, it wraps up with, like, Deadshot gets to visit his daughter. Who gives a shit?
But even there, he's like talking about, he's like telling her about math
telling her how to
and
kill
like
people.
and like geometry, and she's like, "So when you shoot a guy on the street and it's at this angle," it's like, what the? And it's like played for laughs. It's like, this isn't fucking funny.
He's
like
teaching this 12-year-old how he murders people.
The tone of your movie is not like, okay, so at least, like, and this is a movie I don't like, but like, let's take Kick-Ass, for instance.
Okay.
Like when Nicolas Cage is teaching his daughter, this is how you kill a dude, or like that,
or like when he's shooting her in the train yard.
Right. The tone of that is at least set up to where, like, this is comedic because the movie is built around this concept of comedy.
Well, and it full on addresses the fact that these people are crazy.
Yes.
Like, Big Daddy is insane.
Like he's a lunatic,
crazy man. So for him to teach his daughter how to be a crazy person, like, it fits. It makes sense.
Yeah, and
we're not supposed to look at that and go, "Wow, that's a good father."
Right.
We're supposed to look at it and go, "Wow, what a wacko."
And the universe, quote unquote, the tone of Kick-Ass is that it is kind of over the top. Like, you know, you have this like 10-year-old girl jumping around and like murdering people. Like, it's purposefully comic booky. It's purposefully over the top.
Right.
This movie is not that way. So when you're like, "Oh yeah, you do this and you shoot a bullet and it kills a guy," it's like, you're talking to an 11-year-old about straight murdering people.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't, again, I talk about this all the time, you haven't earned that moment to be funny. Your script, your movie has not portrayed this line of dialogue as being funny, and you're trying to get away with it, and it just falls flat. It's so bad. Go ahead.
So the movie wraps up. Deadshot's with his daughter. Harley Quinn's in jail, but the wall blows up, and the Joker's there, and he's like, "I come to save ya." Sweet. Thank you, movie. Then the credits roll, and then
Moss walks out.
Right, then you walk out. So the after credit scene is at that restaurant in the beginning with Amanda Waller. She's in it with this time, and she's like, "I need your protection. Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of bad things that are come to me." And like the camera pans, and it's Ben Affleck. It's Bruce Wayne. And he's like, I can help you out, but I'm going to need something from you. She's like, yeah, I got it. It's right here. And she hands him like a notebook or like a folder.
Like a dossier.
Right. And it's got like information on like the Flash and like all the different people on it. And he's like, thanks. And she's like, well, why do you want this? I like to have friends. And then he walks out and she's like, stop working nights, Bruce. You look tired. So there's a lot of problems with this. One, this shows that Amanda Waller, like, okay, actually I'm going to change one.
Right.
Changing number one.
Well, wait, why do you want this? Oh, well, the one thing it was for sure that I'm not Batman.
Right, I'm definitely not Batman.
Definitely not Batman.
Nope. Did you see Batman? He's down the street. Like, ugh. So, like, two things from this. One, dumb DC fans, listen up, because this one's directly for you. You cannot argue a film's quality and say, well, if you didn't read the comics, you wouldn't understand it, and then be totally fine when someone rewrites shit from the comics in your freaking movie. Like, you can't go, well, of course Clark would say that in Batman v Superman, and be okay with that, but not be okay that Batman murders. Like, that's not, like, you can't do those two. You can't have both. Batman would never work with Amanda Waller at all. He wouldn't talk to her. He constantly tries to get her arrested.
He might extract information from her, but he's not going to, like, make a
They're
deal.
not buddies.
Yeah.
Like, he would be bringing her in if he saw her right there, especially since she killed 5 people in this movie.
Right, oh, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, like, when they rescue her from the tower, when they're extracting the high-value target, there's like 4 or 5 people in the room that are like interns that have like been working with her, and she just pulls out a gun and shoots them all in the head. Like, they weren't supposed to know about the Suicide Squad. What the fuck?
Like, great, awesome. Why didn't you bring the military people who did know?
And again, like, it's supposed to be this moment where you're supposed to establish, like, oh, Amanda Waller is ruthless. Like, she'll do anything. But like, there's no point in the movie where again, you didn't earn that to be impactful. It's just weird. It's just out of nowhere. It's not surprising. It's jarring.
Right.
Like, and not in an emotional way, just in like a what the fuck kind of way.
So, reason number 2
Sure.
why this doesn't make any sense. If she had information on the Flash and had information on like Aquaman and other people in that book, why didn't she contact them when the Enchantress went crazy?
Fucking yeah! I mean, just like the whole premise
like
of this.
It's like the Avengers joke.
Yeah, the whole premise of this movie is we're gonna establish this team in case like more Supermen show up, in case more metahumans show up,
right.
In case they decide to go crazy or whatever.
But they have to be like a Black Ops team. Like, they have to be like an undercover, like nothing can be found kind of
right.
team.
But none of these people have powers. Like, besides El Diablo, who can literally create fire because. As the movie says one time and then just completely ignores, like, he's possessed by a demon or whatever. You just say, again, in a movie that's relatively grounded.
Which means that both of their supernatural people are quote-unquote possessed by demons.
I guess.
Real
but then
original writing.
Everybody else is just a person. Like, Deadshot, okay, he never misses, like, unless he wants to for no reason. He's at least, like, he has supernatural reflexes or whatever. I'll give you that. But, like, Harley Quinn, like, the military dudes are like full on like unloading rounds of ammunition into these like zombie creature things, and like
nothing's happening.
And then she like hits them with a baseball bat and they explode. And it's like, what?
Why?
Just establish something. Like, just fucking have a little consistency. Like, this movie is just dog shit.
It really is. So now that we've gone through the plot, I have like a small bullet point list
fire away
of things that I want to go over. One is the Joker. This Joker is not good, and it's not good because mostly it's not in the movie very much. Like, that's a big thing. But 2, Jared Leto's interpretation of the Joker is, I made this joke before, he's more like a Joker's instead of a Joker.
Yeah.
But on top of that, he's just edgy. Like, he's not scary, he's not intimidating, he's just edgy and cool.
He's ultimately, I think...
He's the Hot Topic Joker. Like, I don't make that joke, but that's what he is.
It's a Halloween costume.
Yes.
Like, it really is. Like, it's...
His hair is dyed.
It's like your coworker came to work dressed as the Joker, and he's crazy because he's the Joker. Right. You know, like, it's not...
It's like he poured salt in your coffee instead of sugar.
It's... Yeah, like,
what an asshole.
And to be fair to Jared Leto, like, I'll grant him... The Joker's not in this movie very much.
Right.
And the script doesn't give him anything interesting to do.
But he's garbage in the scenes that he's in.
I will give you that, but I also don't think that he was given a fair shake at doing anything. Because the one scene where he really gets some characterization is the scene in the strip club.
With Common,
With Common, where Common's like, oh, your girlfriend's pretty hot. And he's like, oh, I'll give you her. Like, I'll just give her to you, man. And he's like, whoa, that's not, that's your girl, man, not mine. He's like, yeah. And then he like kills him. Like, it's again, the Joker's crazy. Like, the
Right.
Joker's a psychopath, but there's at least, you can at least glean like some sort of like chaotic reasoning behind what he
Right.
does. He's not just like, oh, you think my girlfriend's hot? Here's my girlfriend. Now I'm going to kill you. Or at least if he did, he would have something clever or funny to say.
Right.
He has nothing. He has nothing.
Like, comparing it to, okay, because I think this is fair, comparing to the previous two cinematic Jokers we've had, being
Sure.
Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. Jack Nicholson is an amazingly goofy Joker. Like, that's his take on the Joker.
He embraces like the laughter, like the comedic, like the
Right.
all smiles side of
Like,
the
I
Joker.
always think back to one of my favorite lines of that movie is the line where he says to Bob, you know, like where he's like caressing his shoulders.
Yeah, he's like, you're my number one guy.
Right. But then, like, later on the movie, when Bob screws up, the Joker just, like, pulls out a gun and just shoots him in the chest.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why he does it. He messed up slightly.
Right. And it's funny, quote unquote, because it's so unexpected.
Right. Or, like, from Heath Ledger, when he does the, like, you want to see a magic trick?
Right.
He, like, does the pencil thing.
It's funny because it's gruesome and it's dark. Like,
and it's unexpected.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why he's terrifying, because he's unexpected.
right.
Just shooting a dude in a nightclub isn't unexpected or freaky. It's just,
It's like,
okay, so he's a killer.
He's just like, hey, Harley Quinn's a good looking lady. You're a lucky man. Oh, do you want her? No, I don't. Here you go. She's totally your girl. Now I'm gonna kill you. What? There's no setup to the joke. The Joker killing him isn't funny because it's a punchline to no setup.
But nor is it terrifying to where we're like,
Oh no,
God, now
this Joker's clearly not terrifying.
Right.
Like he's silly. The Cesar Romero Joker is more terrifying than this Joker.
Yeah, and something that people need to tell Hollywood actors now is whispering is not
Acting,
scary or
right?
intimidating. Eddie Redmayne or Jared Leto, like, they both need to listen, because half of Joker's lines in this movie come off as either he's doing a Jack Sparrow impersonation or he's whispering his lines.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. Like, it's very much like a Johnny Depp impersonation.
This is the Johnny Depp's version of Joker.
Yeah.
Also, he, like, growled in a lot of scenes. It reminds me of, like, Heath Ledger's Joker in, like, the times when wasn't saying anything. He's just, like, sitting there. He's, like, giggling to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
this
it's like a
it's like
right.
this really uncomfortable, like, laugh, and it makes us uncomfortable because it's like, why is he laughing? You know. In this one, he's just like, like, he's like growling. That aside, so Joker's crap. That's my first thing. Like, he's a terrible Joker.
Agreed.
Second thing is the racism. This movie is incredibly racist towards black people.
And stereotypical. Like, that's the big...
It's more so stereotypical, but through that, it gives off very racist things. So like you said, Will Smith in the beginning is very much like, I love my daughter, I want to protect my daughter. And then as soon as he, like, gets in prison and gets part of the Suicide Squad, he's like, man, y'all jokers must be crazy.
Right.
Man, triangle, bitch. Like,
right.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then the worst one's Killer Croc, though.
Yeah, Killer Croc is the worst. We'll talk about it in just a second. But, like, you could have done something where, like, okay, once Will Smith went into prison, like, he changed his personality as, like, a front. Like,
right.
But the movie doesn't do that at all. But, like, that would at least give us something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Killer Croc is by far the worst.
Because Killer Croc is just like, yo, player, gotta go get some swag.
Right.
I want to watch BET.
That's the worst. At the very end where he's like, I want BET.
Right, where Viola Davis is like, I'll give you whatever you want on top of, like, your prison sentence thing. And they're all like, coffee maker, I want to see my daughter. BET access. And then just shows them watching a music video where people are bouncing their asses.
His entire character, because he doesn't do anything throughout the entire movie.
He takes his shirt off.
But his entire character is like, get it? He's a black guy.
Right.
His whole purpose in the movie is get it? He's a black guy. That's it.
It's terrible.
He does nothing else in the entire movie.
So that's crap. Racism. Third point, sexism. This movie is so incredibly sexist that it's nauseating. So the strip club scene. One, Harley Quinn's not a stripper. Like, I don't know why she's stripping or, like, dancing on, like, a pole. And, like, the whole ownership thing that, like, the Joker has over her.
Yeah, it's the most
very. It's not like in the Paul Dini Batman animated universe where Harley Quinn is very dedicated to him.
Yeah.
She loves him, but he doesn't reciprocate it. That's fine.
Yeah, well, and the movie, this is by far the most like sexualized on-screen version we've ever had of the Joker. Or I would
Yeah.
argue like the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship. In the comics, there's some implications, like especially in Brian Azzarello's Joker. You know, that has some connotations there, but like that comic is specifically like gritty and dark. But never in a movie before, or in any medium besides the comics, has this relationship been so like overtly sexual. But yeah, like you were saying, the Harley Quinn's character is obsessed with the Joker. Like she's in love with him in like kind of this psychotic way.
Right.
But it's not a, this is almost like a, and this is giving the movie I think a lot more credit than it deserves, but it's almost like a BDSM type of relationship.
Right.
And I think you could make a movie, I say this all the time, again, you can make a movie about anything as long as you have the proper writing and storytelling. You can get me to any point that you're trying to make. You just have to tell the story that way.
Right.
I think a BDSM take on the Joker and Harley's relationship could be interesting, but neither of those characters are developed enough in this movie to really sell that. And it just results in things being overtly and uncomfortably sexual without any sort of subtlety or nuance or characterization that would justify that feeling. Like it's very much like tacked on to this movie.
Yeah.
Because like we said earlier, the Joker has no bearing on the actual, again, loosely termed plot of this film. I think it's exactly what you said earlier. It's, hey, the Joker's in this movie as a marketing ploy to get people to go see this movie because, hey, we get to see the new Joker.
He's second billed. Jared Leto was the second billed actor in this.
Maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, not at all.
If that.
Like, very, very little. So the whole, like, she's objectified through the entire film. Harley Quinn is an object. There's no getting around that. Besides the fact that they constantly call her crazy, which is really annoying too. Like, every other scene, they have to mention that she's crazy without showing that she's crazy.
And again, you could, right, because she doesn't, the setup for this story.
Quirky, but she's not crazy.
Yeah, because the story that they're telling, again, story, loose term, but they're just fighting these generic, like, zombie guys. So the scenario that they have concocted does not give her a chance to express her personality. Like, there's a couple times where she sounds exactly like the Harley Quinn from the animated series.
Right.
But the movie doesn't, like, Harley Quinn is a very interesting character, but her characterization in this film and the characterizations of the other characters in the movie don't give her anything to play off of. Like, the script and the dialogue don't give her anything to do, and the other characters in the movie don't give her anything to bounce off of. So you're just left with, it's almost like a comedic impression of the character. It's like a parody almost of the character from the animated series and the comics, just because I don't think Margot Robbie is a bad choice for Harley Quinn, and I think this movie is an example of how she could pull off that character,
right?
But she doesn't have anything to work with,
right? It's horrible.
And and to your point, she spends the whole movie going around in short booty shorts.
Oh yeah, the costumes in this are garbage, but specifically hers and Enchantress, they're both incredibly sexualized.
They're basically just half naked.
Right, Enchantress is in a bikini, like the whole movie. Even when she becomes the true Enchantress, she's in a bikini. Harley Quinn is in essentially a thong and a white t-shirt, which they emphasize at so many different camera angles that, hey, she's a woman, she's wearing a bra under there, and there's a lot of ass shots.
Yeah.
Hope you're not sick of it, because it's the whole damn movie with her.
Right.
So she's sexualized, she's objectified, she gets no character design, and so like I hate the character of Harley Quinn. Like I will make that known. I think she's the fucking worst Batman villain ever created, and this is amongst Polka Dot Man and Condiment Man. She's the worst.
She's definitely not my favorite. I think you can make Harley Quinn interesting, but I feel like most writers don't have the ability to do that.
She's the Joker's girlfriend, which means she ruins the character of the Joker. That's why I don't like her.
Unfortunately, I agree. In the majority of writing, she serves to make the Joker a less interesting character. Done correctly, I think that she's a really great way to illuminate a certain side of the Joker that you otherwise wouldn't get. in kind of a similar fashion that if you have the character of Robin, you can illuminate certain things about Batman's personality.
Sure.
Just because you have a different point of view for the story. But in general, I agree with you. I'm not the hugest fan of Harley Quinn.
Like, the Joker to me is asexual. He's not attracted to anything or anyone. Like, it's just who he is. He's 100% about one thing, and that's causing chaos. He's not going to waste time getting flowers for Harley. It's dumb. The other thing that really annoys me is I'm not a super big fan of the Suicide Squad comics either, but I know there's a story arc in the Suicide comics that was, like, lining up with Death of the Family storyline for Batman.
Right. Where,
like, the Joker comes back for her, and she's like, no, I'm done with this. It's an abusive relationship. I'm done with you. I'm on my own, blah, blah, blah. That's great. Her relationship is an abusive relationship, right? And, like, we understand that. And when she gets out of it, we, like, root for her. I understand this is the first movie, and apparently there's a second one. Don't do a second one, please. But, like, in this one, it's clearly an abusive relationship, but she's okay with it. Like, I don't get that. Doesn't work. Like, you're almost like endorsing an abusive relationship for Harley. Like, it's okay to be abused, you know? Like, it reminds me of Mad Love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in Mad Love, we're supposed to feel sympathetic for her because, you know, she does this wonderful thing for the Joker by capturing Batman, but it's all turned on her because, like, the Joker's like,
he doesn't appreciate it yet.
It's like, this is my job. You can't do this. You're overstepping your boundaries. And he, like, throws her out of freaking building, you know? And then, like, while she's, like, almost broken in the street, laying there, she's like, it's my fault, I didn't get the joke. That's depressing. That's what we're supposed to get, not this. And for all these dumb teenagers out there that are like, I want the Joker and Harley's relationship. No, you don't. That's terrible. Like, it's an abusive relationship. That's clear cut. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is an abusive, horrible relationship.
It makes for some interesting storytelling. It's not necessarily what you want in real life.
Right, you shouldn't argue for it. No. God, it's so terrible. Like, they missed the point of that completely in this movie.
So to sum up,
God,
we didn't like this movie.
No, it's terrible.
It's really, really bad. Like I said, I think the final word that I want to put on this movie is it's mediocre, it's bland, it's lame. There's very, very little creativity or craftsmanship or just effort, it seems, that was put into this film. And ultimately that shows in every single aspect, whether it's the direction or the dialogue or the screenplay or the characters. Like, nothing is interesting. It's all boring and generic and mediocre. Don't see it. Do yourself a favor and skip it.
Now, see, and we're going to disagree about this, but I feel very strongly about certain points that I brought up. I think this is worse than Batman v Superman. I would put this as the worst DC film so far. Like, to me, it goes this, Batman v Superman, then Man of Steel. Like, as in worst to best. This movie is atrocious. It is insulting. It is sexist. It's racist. It's boring as hell.
It is very boring.
Like, it's garbage.
And that's part of the fact that it is so mediocre is that there's, like, when we're talking about them fighting, like, the zombies and everything, like, those fights are so boring and interesting.
They're hard to follow.
And there's nothing visually interesting going on.
Right.
Like, you know, from the opening credits, we get that crazy, you know, Suicide Squad logo, and it's all colorful and bright and rainbowy.
Oh, you mean 20 minutes into the movie?
And then the movie is just a gray-brown sludge.
Right. I thought this was going to be more like a Guardians of the Galaxy, like a colorful, jokey, funny thing.
You know, at the very, very beginning, when they're, like, zooming in on Arkham Asylum and the word Arkham above the gates, like, lights up pink. It has, again, it's kind of dumb, but at least has this, like, visual flair to it.
I thought it was going to be really kind of fun.
And then that's gone after the first half an hour. Just the movie has the characters and the movie itself just have no personality to them.
It's just another gray, black DC film.
Generic, mediocre Hollywood DC movie. Like, it's
boring as shit. But hey, The Flash is in it. Which was,
for 5 seconds,
in my opinion, the only good part of the movie, and that was only because I could go, oh, hey, it's The Flash.
I'll give it to Viola Davis. I was at least interested. Like, she made me, when she was on screen, I was at least captivated by her presence, even if she didn't have anything to do.
She's great, but
she's at least a good actress. And again, she had a screen presence.
Right. It's just, there's even a weird part where, like, Flash makes a joke about, like, honor among thieves, no honor among things, right? And then later on in the movie, Deadshot says it. And it's like, that's super lazy writing. It would have been kind of funny if Captain Boomerang had said it, like, no honor among thieves, right?
If a character who had heard him say it said it, but no, it's just, like you said, it's
Deadshot said it.
It's just lazy.
Really lazy. Couldn't think of something else?
This movie's fucking terrible. I'm done talking about
it. Skip it.
So
Go watch something else. Go watch 9 Lives.
That's
better.
So that's what we thought of Suicide Squad. Hopefully you enjoyed our discussion of this movie. Hopefully you don't go see it, because it's really, really terrible.
Oh, and don't petition to take down Rotten Tomatoes.
Critics are there to give their opinion, and you're petitioning to shut down Rotten Tomatoes on a movie that you hadn't seen yet because it wasn't out yet.
Right, when they first started
Stupid, terrible, just internet bullshit. Anyway.
And I will say this because I said this before. The reason why we talk so much shit on these garbage movies is because we deserve better.
Yes.
Marvel listens, and like they hear when we talk about how terrible things are. Like, people made fun of Avengers because Hawkeye was garbage.
Us specifically, when you and I talked.
When I wrote to Joss Whedon, I said Hawkeye was not big enough in Avengers. He fixed it. But you know what I mean? Like, they tend to listen.
Right, and Marvel films aren't perfect by any means.
No, absolutely not.
We're going to get into that someday. We keep saying that. But
DC keeps on giving us reasons to not.
Right, but the Marvel films aren't perfect. But at the very least, like let's take Thor as a quick example. I don't think Thor is a good movie. Like, I don't either. It's okay, but like I think it's kind of bland and boring. But it tells a story.
Right.
Like, it has characters who have personalities.
Right. It is a redemption story.
Yeah, it has a theme. It has an arc. Like, it has a plot. It doesn't just have a scenario. It actually has events that happen.
Right.
That movie's Citizen fucking Kane in comparison to Suicide Squad.
Right. And Man of Steel even has more of a plot than either of its, like, sequels, quote unquote.
Yeah.
As much as Man of Steel is garbage, it still tells a story of the coming of age of Clark Kent as Superman. As badly as it does it,
even as poorly as it does it, yeah.
But that's the thing, is it's like, you need to complain about these, because if you don't, they're just going to stay at this mediocre crap level.
Right. Don't go see this movie.
No. It's terrible.
So that's our discussion. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you'd like to let us know what you thought of the movie, or what you think about not seeing the movie, or what we thought about it, let us know. You can get at the show at POP RANT RADIO on Facebook and Twitter. You can also email the show at Gmail, same thing, at POP RANT RADIO. The show is available on YouTube, where we post all the episodes, along with a couple of other things that we've done. The show is also available on libsyn.com, the website that hosts the podcast. And as always, if you're listening to us on iTunes, give us a rating, give us a review. It really helps out the show.
Do it.
And thank you for everyone who has. As always, we'd like to thank Major for the theme songs.
Thank you, sir.
You are the man. Thank you. And other than that, that's the show for this week.
Yep. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Go listen to like the 7 songs they wrote for this piece of shit movie.
Do literally anything else besides go see Suicide Squad. Thanks for listening.
Go see 9 Lives.
Bye.